Oh, fuck. Okay, new plan, folks. Happy 420, by the way. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Damn thing, Phil. It's always 420 somewhere in BC. But you know what else is always somewhere in BC? Empty motherfucking houses. I swear to God, I'm like going nuts or something as I walk around all these neighborhoods that I used to know. I keep seeing houses that I'm just like, is this one empty too? Now back there, I was gonna do a live video because it says development application and it's got the board. So I went up and I started snooping around the houses. There's four houses. It's like a park, four houses, and then goddamn fucking skeeters. Anyways, hydro, through a lines or through a fair. Anyways, you can see the picture on the development application. I was going to do a live video, but I can't do live videos. I was going to do a video right there, but I had a whole bunch of shit to pack, and it's going to rain, and I got to get the fucking tarp set up. So I don't even know why I waste my time doing these goddamn videos. It's just all for fucking naught. Nobody ever watches them. Nobody ever pays any attention. Can't even make a fucking congruent point to begin with. Which kind of makes sense living out here on the West Coast, because everybody's fucking crazy. Whether they think they're a witch and they're all fucking aloof with their witchiness, and or if they think that they're a fucking, I don't know, freedom fighter of fucking something or other, but they're all lefty Lulu fucking commie sacks of shit. Everybody says to me, well, you're a lazy bastard, you ain't working, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, I know. I got stabbed in an armed robbery gone wrong. I haven't really worked since. The economy's been the shits, right? Why would I try going back to work too early when there's no work out there? And I've looked and I've tried, but you know what? My name's not fucking Habib. So they don't want to hire me. Or, well, they've got other people to hire. I seen the downturn in the labor forces many years ago. Well, people were still clamoring to get a job, get a job, get a job. Easy to get a job, jobs, jobs, jobs. And you'd be like, they're not hiring white people. Those aren't jobs that are open for you. Even when you get to work there, you'd be like, what the fuck? Why are there five people doing the work of fucking two? If that, maybe even one and a half. Who's paying all these people? Because there's always one to just do the translating, the other one to like process the orders, and then, you know, the other three to wander around bumping into each other and being lazy for the next hours until the boss comes back and gives them new instructions. So where do these people live if all these fucking houses are empty? Well, they've all been crammed into the rental suites. And now that they've left because there's no more work, all the rental suites are fucking empty too. Lots of empty rentals, and the price of them, of the older rentals that are coming up, the people who are paying higher rents are just moving into the cheaper rentals. So it's just shuffling around the board game, shuffling around the same deck again. There's no new people here. They're not coming. And in fact, I really just, like I said, I know of places that I am fucking so 110% certain that they are empty because I've walked up to them and looked in the windows and stuff. And then there's these other ones, and they all have the blinds drawn, and it's all in the areas where the Chinese bought into. And all the houses look the same, and all the developments look the same. And then they had the Indo-Asians buying in and building these Persian types moving into making the McMansions and taking these $1 million lots and turning them into $2.5 million McMansion for sale. They're not doing any work on those. I see some, but it's slow, it's puttering work. And just down the street, you're like, is anybody living there? I wonder. And it's the houses on the corner, and it's the houses, that they're lining up to get these development applications to knock. They only know one, it's a one-trick pony. The all the consumer or commercial, all the commercial property, well, it's worth so much, so you got to pay so much for your commercial property. So the companies moved out and moved to cheaper rent. They took that land, they sold it, turned it into condos. It hasn't been turned into condos yet. All of the commercial activity has left not just the area for cheaper greener pastures in Langley, like the more rural areas where it's cheaper to put up the commercial. They left the province, they left the country. They just retired because the boomers were retiring, and they just closed up their business because their kids couldn't take over the businesses and keep it rolling. They didn't have kids. The kids didn't want it. The kids were fuck ups and on drugs and on the streets. Who knows? But whatever it is, those businesses aren't there anymore. None of that actual GDP, none of that actual making of money, none of those actual jobs and wages. Goddamn trains. Well, it's less noisy here. None of that economy and what do they call it? The speed of the cash, the times that the cash rotates or passes hands in an economy. They took the heart and liver and lungs out of the city and said, all we know how to do is build luxury condos that are too expensive for anybody who lives here and works here to afford. Only for foreigners. Only for foreigners. Foreigners have all the money. Nobody here is allowed to have any of the money. Fucking Skeeter's on the fucking screen there. Fuck. Anyways. Now there's no more foreigners coming in. Now there's no more temporary foreign workers doing all your construction projects. So if I live here and I'm not working on construction because I got stabbed in an armed robbery gone wrong, and those foreign workers, well, I need a place to live, they need a place to live. The person who the condo is being built for, they need a place to live because it's not finished yet. So all these people need places to live in Vancouver. Well, there's no more condos being built. There's no more jobs. The temporary foreign workers have left. The people who were waiting for the condo to be built, they're not finishing on it. They're moving into lower rent places. They're moving out of province. They're moving back home to Taiwan. Wherever it is they're moving, maybe there's jobs over there, but there ain't any jobs here. One trick pony town. All we knew how to do was build the luxury condos for people who don't live here to keep empty so that they can put the valuations on the bank as high up as possible so that the banks can have backing so that they can loan more money for people to play on foreign markets. One trick pony town. It's not working anymore, and that's all they know how to do. Oh, we need to build more. Well, why don't you build more out of the empty lots that you've already got? You know what they mean by build more? They mean we're going to take out the old, cheaper rental places, empty lots all over the place. They haven't even started these projects. They're not going to start the projects. The credit crunch is real. It's been real for a few years. Finally, people will listen. I was saying these sorts of things 10 years ago, before COVID. Nobody wanted to listen then. I'm amazed nobody's still listening now, so whatever. I swear to God, probably when I walked over here, I'd say more than 5, between 5 and 10, closer to 10, 7 or 8 or 9 houses that I was like, wow, I just like, and I did actually walk up to a couple of them. One with the development sign. Well, I walked up to a couple of those houses and I was seen there's cars and people type stuff, and this house looks kind of empty, and no, this one's got. So I was just walking up to the front lawn, kind of, you know, peeking through stuff like that. The other ones, on the other side of the street, is like, are you kidding me? This looks like some recently built, but still 10 years ago, definitely before 2020, this cube thing, and you're like, why? Why on a dark day are all your windows drawn? Why? It's just automatic lights, and like it's a new enough development. It's probably got cameras and security and stuff. Are they even paying for that? Is it even to protect their investment? Have they walked from it? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, folks, but there is a lot of fucking empty house. And this isn't even a high development area. It's just everywhere you go in the city, on every block, there's one or two, one on each side of the street, one or two empty fucking houses. And sometimes there's three, and sometimes there's half the block is fucking empty, and there's for sale signs and development signs all over. Those are the blocks that are closer to the major thoroughfares, or closer to parks or community centers or schools. Some of those places have the townhomes that have been built maybe 10 years ago and stuff, and those townhouses do have occupancy, but empty fucking Coover. They're fucking with you. That's why you have to pay so much tax, because there's not the people, there's not the businesses. They can't charge and get the commercial lease. All those commercial leases are being written down as losses by those companies that own those properties, and then they write it off against their profits. For the ones that they are still charging $8,000 for the storefront per month, well, you've got three other empty places right beside it. So that $8,000, if you were to charge, say, $2,000, you could maybe rent out 4 units and have 4 businesses, and they'd all be paying taxes. Nope, not good enough. We need to rent this out to luxury, but there's no luxury shit here. You're in the fucking. I was in North Burnaby today coming back, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta find a good spot. I'll go up, I'll ride up to Burnaby Mountain when I get my bike after it rains. And anyways, I'm still in the figuring out there's so many of these. I'm just gonna go and fucking start knocking on the windows with a goddamn brick. There's some that I am fucking certain of, because I walked up to it right across the street from the fucking SkyTrain station, right in between a bunch of the developments and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's what's going on the next block. So, yeah, why are these windows all boarded up on the basement? They're boarded up on the inside, not the outside. It's not. I'm certain. I didn't see the telltale, like the real estate key hanging off the door handle. There's other signs like that you gotta look for. Anyways, I'm gonna fuck off. You guys have a nice day.